I always considered myself a woman with strong morals. A loving wife, a caring mother, faithful to my beliefs. This flight was supposed to be just a routine trip, a few hours in the sky, warm coffee in a plastic cup, and the book I had been meaning to read for so long. But from the very first minutes, things started to go wrong. I felt someone's gaze on me. Heavy, burning, too intense. When I turned my head, my eyes met those of the man sitting across the aisle. A faint, almost predatory smile touched his lips. He wasn't just looking, his gaze carried a challenge, a hint, something dangerous and forbidden. I turned away, pretending not to notice. But my heart had already started beating faster. "Mom, wanna go to the bathroom?" my son suddenly said. I froze. His words sounded strange. Of course, he didn't mean anything bad. He was just asking, casually, without thinking twice. But at that moment, after that man's stare, after my own inner tension, I felt a chill run down my spine. "What?" I asked, trying to hide my sudden awkwardness. "The bathroom," he repeated and laughed. "I just thought maybe you needed to go too, and there's probably already a line." I smiled, pretending everything was fine. Of course, it was just a coincidence. Just an absurd moment, nothing more. But when my gaze slid back to the stranger, I saw that he was still looking. And that smile, it had widened slightly. That's when I realized, this flight was going to be anything but ordinary. I'll take a short pause. Let me know in the comments where you're listening from. Have you ever experienced something similar? Maybe a random encounter that left you feeling uneasy, or a moment when someone's gaze made your heart skip a beat? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next part. Now, I continue. I walked down the narrow aisle, trying not to look around. Of course, this was just a coincidence. A line for the bathroom, a need to stretch my legs, anything but what I was desperately avoiding thinking about. The plane jolted slightly, and I instinctively grabbed the nearest seat for balance. "Mom, you coming?" My son turned back with a light-hearted smile, completely unaware of my hesitation. "Yes, of course," I replied, though my voice was quieter than I intended. The bathroom was just a few steps away. 2 tiny cabins, dim lighting, the scent of cheap air freshener. I took another step forward, when suddenly, I felt a firm but gentle grip on my wrist. I turned sharply. The stranger. He was too close. His hand was warm, his grip confident, as if he had every right to stop me. I wanted to say something sharp, to protest, but as soon as our eyes met, I realized my voice had betrayed me. "No need to rush," his voice was low, almost velvety, with a slight rasp. The plane hummed around us. Someone was chatting, someone snored in their seat. But at that moment, everything seemed to fade away. It was just us. "Excuse me," I exhaled, pulling my hand away, "but You don't need to hurry," he continued, leaning slightly closer. I felt a rush of heat spread through my body. Not fear, no. Something else entirely. This moment. Why did it feel like a test? And what exactly was being tested? The plane began its descent, and with it, a strange feeling settled over me, as if I was leaving something important behind in the clouds. Or worse, taking something with me that was meant to stay up there, in the air, lost among the mist. I closed my eyes. The past few hours replayed in flashes, my son's gaze, innocent, yet in that moment, it made me freeze, the stranger's hand on my wrist, his voice laced with quiet confidence, the heat that rushed through me, uncontrollable, unbearably unsettling. In the end, what did I choose? I remember pulling my hand away. I remember hearing my son call me again, and it was my salvation. In that second, I chose reason. I chose the familiar boundaries, the lines I had drawn for myself. But I could have chosen differently, couldn't I? The plane jolted slightly, almost as if fate itself was mocking me, reminding me that every path has a fork in the road. As the wheels touched the ground, I shuddered. No more clouds. No more illusions. I stepped out of the plane with a carefully practiced smile. In the distance, among the waiting crowd, I saw him. My husband. His eyes locked onto mine immediately, as if he already knew something. He studied my face, searching for an answer. Did he know? Did he suspect? Or was it all just a trick of my own guilty mind? But as I moved closer, he suddenly smirked. Lightly, barely noticeable. And that's when I realized, whatever I had left behind in that flight, my new reality was only just beginning. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this story. What do you think? What would you have done in this situation? Have you ever experienced something similar? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one, and they truly mean a lot to me. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'm grateful for your support. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button so you won't miss the next thrilling stories. And to let me know you listened until the end, write in the comments, "A new reality begins now." Wishing you a wonderful day.